Today on the Pizza Roundtable, will the McPizza make its return to the Golden Arches? Can Pizza reinvent the crazy stuffed crust? Can you get good New York pizza in Chicago? And finally, what are the Black Friday pizza deals you should be looking out for? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pizza Roundtable, part of the Pizza Club Network, where we host some of your favorite pizza personalities from all around the world. You are here with us today for the Pizza Roundtable, where we talk about some of the biggest pizza news of the week and give you a chance to weigh in on it. I'm your host tonight, Will Dumas, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jim Mumford. Jim is a cookbook author and a writing contributor to the media publication Inside Hook. Jim, welcome to the show.
Hey, good evening, Will. How are you?
I'm doing great, my man. How about yourself?
I'm good.
All right, so let's kick off our first article of the night. This one is going to be from The Street, and let me share it here real quick for us. All right. So this one is McDonald's menu tries a new take on a controversial classic. So McDonald's, at least in the United States, has a troubled relationship with pizza chains tied to the introduction of the McPizza in the 1980s as a family-sized pie brought to your table and served on a raised stand. So, Jim, I'll throw it to you first, buddy. Any memories of the McPizza? Was it too young for you? Did you see it before?
Yeah, it never came to where I lived. Kind of disappointing. You hear about it. It's one of those, legendary foods. I never tried it. Have you? Are you familiar with the McPizza? You get a McPie in your time?
I unfortunately haven't had a McPizza. I was probably a young boy at the time the McPizza was coming out, but I certainly heard about it. I think just the fascination of of McDonald's doing a pizza is just honestly what intrigues me to this story. It's like I would say like the quintessential item of like that McDonald's lacks is pizza, right? Like
Right.
every other fast food chain, people copied McDonald's and the way they did things, but like the pizza is the one item that eludes them. Something about that just fascinates me. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm intrigued to see if it comes back or what the offering is going to be like.
Yeah, I will say I was in Germany last month. This is going to do very well there.
Okay.
The American food is kind of having a moment there. And let's face it, this is not Italian. These pizza puffs they're serving. This is as American as apple pie and hot pockets. But American food's having a moment, and I actually think it's going to do really well.
I like it.
Yeah, especially in kind of the late night scene. So very interested to see. I think they chose the right place to launch it. We'll see if it comes stateside. I also love to bring back Monopoly too. They're taking swings in all the old hits.
Yes.
They're gonna bring back Ronald McDonald to service and the play places again too. I think.
Well, I'll highlight here quickly from the article just for reference, guys. In general, this offering, as Jim mentioned here, it is going to be based on Germany, and these are like pizza pockets, right? So I know I'm jumping ahead, and that I think it's going to be coming back to the U.S. Maybe I'm hoping for my lifetime to get a Mickey McPizza, but they are like pizza bites. And here in the first article here reported from TheStreet.com, I think the person is Snackulator, if I'm saying that correctly. They have an Instagram account essentially that's referenced for kind of breaking this for the most part. So I'll quickly grab just their reference to it so we can just get a visual image for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like, I mean, these look cool, man. I mean, they kind of look like grown up Hot Pocket like kind of style to them, but I don't know. Do you think it's like a flaky? Is it like a flaky? Do you think it's like I'm trying to think like the pies. What's the apple pie that they had? Like that style of dough to it, or what do you think it's going to be like?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shorter dough, right? It's definitely going to be a little bit more crumbly. It kind of looks.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a little bready. I mean, listen, it doesn't look like the worst pizza thing I've ever heard, and it's not coming from a convenience store. So let's say I'll try anything twice. And I'm not surprised it's in Germany. I don't know. It looks okay. It's McDonald's. Temper your expectations accordingly, and if it's that bad, go get some McNuggets, right?
I do like that. I'll reference one more just because it brings me more joy here. This one, Business Insider actually did a pretty good coverage of this a couple years
Whoa.
ago for the dawn of the McPizza item. And if this picture does not like show you the heyday of
Oh.
80s style Mickey D's and what that looked like, so I can just imagine the McPizza popping over the table, kind of like this one. So
That's awesome with the '90s stash and the. Well, that's great. That could have been any one of us there. That's awesome.
that was absolutely like my dad there for
Oh
sure.
yeah, same.
All right, cool. Well, listen, I think, I mean, I'm excited to see. Listen, I think I will follow this one through Germany.
Absolutely.
I also picked up quickly in that article as well that I guess there's one McDonald's location in Orlando that's kind of serving all of these items still. I did not know that. I think we're going to have to link that later on. Apparently, you can get the pizza and some of these like one-off items still there. So more to come on that. Maybe the McPizza is still available. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Listen, Orlando, Disney is where dreams are made, right? So if it's going to be anywhere,
why not? Why not? Right.
Right.
All right. So listen, let's leave Mickey D's and let's shift over to Chicago. Not that there's not Mickey D's in Chicago, but I mean, let's talk a little bit about New York in Chicago. First, Jim, I know we've talked a couple times recently about like different Chicago offerings, and maybe some of the criticism or you know, I don't know, hazing, we could say, in the pizza community that people get for the deep dish and some of the other offerings out there. But this one out of Axio Chicago, 6 New York style pizza slices in Chicago. So I'll let you run with it, but I'll say, I know last time we talked about some of the great offerings that Chicago has. You highlighted, listen, you've got a love for deep dish as well, but also kind of highlighted this cracker thin style in general that's coming out there, tavern style.
Yep.
Is Chicago, though, a land of New York pizza?
There's some really good ones. There really are. And I think the article is pretty spot on. Listen, you're not going to find one in every neighborhood like you would in Brooklyn or the island or anything. But yeah, there's some really good pies. Certainly New York style, and it might not be the best even in the Midwest, but definitely some good offerings. And like I said, we'll go through it, but I think the list does a nice job. It got all the ones I expected to see, except one. Except one.
All right. Okay, good. Cliffhanger. Don't spoil it. We'll do it for the end. So first one up that they kind of noted here on the list is Paulie G's. I think Paulie G's, I would say, friend of the Pizza Club in general. We like Paulie. He's been on for a couple unique creations that he had as well, maybe out of New York. But tell me your thoughts here. First up, Paulie G.
Paulie G's belongs at the top of the list. Great pie, great price. The 2 locations, only been to the Wicker Park, but belongs in this list, would fit right in anywhere in New York easily.
Okay, beautiful. I'm with you there. All right, shifting on. Dante's Pizzeria.
Very good, very good. Bigger, more your floppy Manhattan style, but again, a nice pie. It's been actually not that long since I've been there, but it says right there, slices are huge. I mean, they're as big as your face. You only need probably 1 or 2. In your set.
That looks like a 2 slicer. Absolutely, like at most. At most.
Yeah, like I said, it's almost like a boardwalk style in terms of like size, right? Your 20-incher.
Oh, dude, no, it looks delicious though. But I'm with you, maybe a little bit of flop to it, but it looks good. All right, see who we got next. We have Za's Pizzeria.
Yeah, haven't been there personally. Have a lot of friends that have, and I know they really focus on the crust. If I remember, they're a little more Neapolitan style, a little more artisanal than your big $5 cheese. But everyone I've talked to said really, really great pie, and they treat it right in the right neighborhood.
Yeah, I would say the crust has a good, just a bit of char to it that looks nice. But I do pick up the Neapolitan vibes, we'll say, right, from like the way the cheese is kind of melted through there with the basil on it. I definitely get that feeling for the pie, that's for sure. Okay, so next we got up is Gigio's as well at Dave. Okay, ooh, I'm seeing some excitement for this guy. What do we think?
Yeah, one of my favorites in the city, regardless of style. Very good. Treats the dough right. I believe he is a transplant from New York, so really really
Mhm.
good pie. Not overdone. Right, every part's simple. One of the best sauces in the city too, in
Ooh,
my
all right.
opinion.
Nice. All right, next up we have who else? All right, so we've got Jimmy's Pizza Cafe,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got Damonzo's Pizza as
The
well.
Menzios, yeah,
Dimenzio's.
yeah. For me, Jimmy's is probably the best. Again, the simple, you go in, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get a slice, no frills pie, but really, really good. I think he imports everything still from New Jersey. So when you think about New York style in the Chicago area, Jimmy's is what's going to come up to most people, I think.
Okay, awesome. And our last one. I'm so sorry. I keep butchering this name.
I think it's the I think it's
Damientos.
Dimenzio or Dimenzos. Yeah, I think.
I'll leave it to you. I can't speak. All right. So who was missing then?
So there's one that's going to be controversial, and it's Demo's Pizza. Demo's up in Clark Street, right by Wrigley Field. There's two versions of Demo's. There's the one after the game where they're just slinging out pizza as quick as they can. But if you go there
Okay.
on an off day, they do crazy toppings, right? The mac and cheese, the buffalo ranch, whatever you can imagine. I think they do a really nice job. Maybe a little more solid of a crust, maybe not true New York, but
Yeah.
boy, grab a Demos, go over to Dice, grab a couple beers. That's about the best night I could have in Chicago. So, Demos maybe a little controversial because it does really depend on when, but very very close to my heart and a really really good pie.
I like it, man. It sounds good to me. I'm intrigued to go check it out. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think New York gets the love it deserves in Chicago, or are people kind of like, nah, like you got your own town, stay over there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think it's overshadowed, right? I mean, you've got your tavern, then you've got your deep dish and all the variants to come with it, and now you've got Detroit and the Sicilians, which are obviously having a moment.
Yeah,
So New York style isn't definitely as prevalent, right? As definitely other places. It's just not. But there's some really good pizzas, certainly in some good neighborhoods. Um, just, but you never go to Chicago for a New York slice, right? You
sure.
might go for some of the other ones, and come for the deep dish tavern and go to Jimmy's for a slice while you're there.
I mean, do you want to do, if you're in Chicago though in general, do you want
Yeah,
to do slices? Like, do you want to get a square slice? Would you call it a slice town? I mean, that's the idea of a slice town, right?
yeah,
Really, I think super unique to New York. But in
it
general, I
is.
mean, is there a slice community or slice vibe there too, where you're really sitting down?
Not really. Like I said, Debo's is after a sporting event, right, or
Sure.
a big bar area. But for just a Tuesday night, grab a couple slices. Not really. That's not really the vibe. Um, as much as it is, right? Grab the tavern style, or grab a couple squares or something like that. Again, everyone's pizza mileage varies, but for me and what I kind of see, it's definitely not the culture that it is certainly in the greater New York area.
Fair. All right. Let's shift on. Let's talk about another interesting promo coming back up. A little bit more of nostalgia, perhaps, in the Pizzascape. This one's going to be out of PMQ, who was covering this one. This is Little Caesars launches a new version of the stuffed crust pizza. So listen, I will say, I don't know if for me personally, Little Caesars is the first name that comes to mind for stuffed crust. I think for me, it's Pizza Hut. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
lie.
right.
I actually didn't really even know Little Caesars had a stuffed crust to reintroduce. Tell you the truth, I'm sure they did at some point in time, but I wasn't as close to Little Caesars growing up. But I don't know. So, let me get into it first, and I'll get your thoughts on it. So the brand unveiled its new stuffed crazy crust pizza at locations around the country today. With the holiday season approaching, Little Caesars is reintroducing its stuffed crust pizza with an added feature: The stuffed crazy crust pizza combines the chain's classic stuffed crust pizza with its signature crazy crust topping, a blend of garlic and butter with Parmesan. So I will say, conceptually, I've got no qualms with the stuffed crust that's going to happen here, and particularly this extra little blend on the crust sounds like a good idea to me. But I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? Any experience with this guy in the past?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know they did stuffed crust, and I live in Michigan. Again, probably more marketing than anything. I'm not a huge stuffed crust guy. I hope people don't hold that against me. Are you big stuffed crust? Am I offending you personally if I say that I think it's kind of silly? Or
If we were to have Pizza Hut buffet, I'd have an issue. But if
Well-
we are outside of Pizza Hut buffet, I'm okay with the non-stuffed crust for sure. It has its place, and that's it.
Exactly. I think the flavors are spot on, right? As more and more flavored crusts I see pop up, especially at your fast food type places, it makes sense. I mean, will I pay extra for it? Maybe not. I don't think so. But
Fair.
I am also worried, right? More butter, more garlic, more stuff in the crust. What's that texture do, right? Are you getting really greasy? That's kind of just, the stuffed crust can already be a little greasy. Now you're putting more butter in it.
Well,
I do wonder what the texture's like. Again, you put one in front of me. Yeah, I'm going to have a couple slices. I'll try it. Of course I will. But I don't know that I'm seeking this one out, especially if they were Pizza Hut and for like 1995. I'd probably seek it out. Today, I don't think I go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on the crust component. That's a unique thought to it. I wasn't thinking that. I guess I'm more thinking like when I think this buttery kind of crust, I'm almost thinking like bread stick category or cheesy stick category, right? That's kind of an offering that all of them have. But as the actual pizza, it's a little bit different. I get it. So
Yeah.
if you are gonna tangle with this pie, Jim, are you eating it like your normal way you'd eat a pizza, or are you eating stuffed crust first?
I can't do crust. What are you holding on to? And then you're just like, it's just grease. And what am I going to dip into the ranch? Because I live in the... No. No, I can't go crust first. I think, there's the good Lord invented pizza that you be eaten from the inside out. And that is how I will consume.
Fair. Okay. I know. I think it's one of those commercial things, right, where you see everyone just like, whoop, and then they're like, you gotta have like a marketing scheme to eat this pizza backwards, right? But
and again, well, I know we talk about crazy and great marketing here, but is there any better pizza marketing than the stuffed crust, eat it backwards, and how big that was? I don't think so. I think that's a big that's it. That's on the Mount Rushmore.
Unless it was a McDonald, if it was a McDonald's stuffed crust, I'd be running out the door to check this thing out.
I'd book a flight to Berlin today.
If there can be like McDonald's pizza breakfast, like egg McMuffin hybrid combination somehow in this world, if you hear me up there somewhere, bring this to fruition.
Get me some hash browns on there. Just mess me up. Yeah, worth it.
All right, well, listen, speaking of exciting things that we're all wishing for, Black Friday is coming up. I know, I can't imagine we all have our upcoming pizza things that we're looking to get. So let's talk a little bit about a couple specials coming up for Black Friday, and then we can talk about some of the items maybe that a pizza aficionado or pizza lover would like to have or could get for a gift option for them. First up, I'll throw one of the quick offerings that I saw coming up that I thought was interesting because I haven't seen too many other ones with particularly special deal. This one was covered by Pizza Marketplace. This is Jets Pizza offering Black Friday deal, 20% off any Jets menu item if you order through the app. Not a bad start, I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah, all right. Listen, Jets makes a nice pie. 20% is 20%. You trade and give them your info for it. I would. I think it's a great way to start or end your Black Friday. I'm in for it.
I'm down. Agreed. I actually had some Jets pizza the other day. I'm not gonna lie. My kids are really lovers of it. I had them try it. There's like one that opened near us. Really got into it, and we also ordered that big bottle of ranch, and it's been sitting in my fridge, and it's been multi-use, man. It's not just for the pizza. There's so many other items that have come up. That's a different level of ranch, in my opinion. I haven't seen something like that before.
They make it. Listen, we could do a whole episode just on pizza ranch and how it's the same, but it's not. But good. I'm glad you're coming onto the Jets bandwagon. It makes me happy.
All right, listen, this next one coming up this around the same time. This one had a good housekeeping, so I'm intrigued by this. They just recently rated their top 4 pizza peel. So in general, I feel like pizza peel, right? Something maybe you want to get for your pizza starter pack, or someone shopping on Black Friday, and you're like, hey, I had a pizza peel that I was trying out. Maybe it's time for me to upgrade or to take that splurge and get the next level pizza peel, but at a discount. I don't know. Well, give me your thoughts on maybe style-wise, and also if any of these particular ones stand out to you that you like using. Are you a perforated user? Do you like the big wood boards? Do you need a metal one? Where do you go, Jim?
I mean, obviously, I have all of them, right? I like the wood. I don't know. There's just something old school about that. Maybe that's just what my grandmother had, so I had. But I feel like you can do a lot more with it if you don't cut on it and But I think actually there's some pretty good deals, right? I mean, the King Arthur's a very good brand. Obviously, Uni, they know what they're doing. Prices seem right. So, listen, if you're not lucky enough to live by a restaurant supply store that sells it, that has the whole rack, I think it's great. And you can do a lot more with pizza peels than pizza. Again, right? Just like Pizza Ranch can do it all, so can a pizza peel, especially if you grill or stuff. So I think it's a must-have, especially if you're looking to get a different style than what you don't have already.
No, absolutely, I'm with you there. Are you a short-handle pizza guy, a long-handle pizza guy?
I'm a short-handle pizza guy.
Any recommendations for people maybe starting out on that kind of one, or what they want to go with?
Depends how much you like your knuckle hair. I think shorter gives you more control if you're not used to slinging it around. But once you get used to it, you can go a little bit longer. What about you? I'm sure you've got 10, 20 pizza peels in the back.
I've got two. I've got a really short handle Uni, and then I've got kind of an off-brand longer one. I like the long one. They kind of fit between two of my countertops, so I can kind of put the edge and put the handle back on one and build on one, which is great. Perfect. And then I've got that short little Uni one to move it around in my Coda.
There you go. It's perfect.
All right, let's see what else we got coming up for items out there. This one, I'm going to cover the ones that I think are relevant. Let's talk pizza ovens, right? I think we're seeing a lot of deals for pizza ovens that are coming up. So I'll give the first one that we're sharing from Mashable here. Can you let me know if you're feeling the same? And I'll also share one out of Yahoo Finance also as well. That's covered a number of different ovens out there. So one of the ones that Mashable highlights as the best Black Friday deal. And listen, granted, these may not be our favorites, but in general, just from covering here, what Mashable is promoting is the Breville. This is the indoor, right, smart pizza oven. So I think from a competitor perspective, we'd be looking like Univolt, right, as a counter brand in that perspective. And then they also kind of, I think, highlighted as well both the Rockbox as well as I think there's a couple deals coming out for the Ninja. That one I haven't used. I've seen some reviews coming up to it. Stoke I'm not as familiar with, and the Ghazni, there's definitely a significant discount. Same as Uni as well. I think they're around roughly 10-20% off as well. Any ovens sticking out to you, Jim, that you saw specials coming out on? Dude, you gotta grab it.
I think that I'm really interested in the Ninja, right? I mean, they're good. Again, hashtag not sponsored, but they everything they do, they seem to kind of nail. And being a little bit later to the party, I'm assuming for good reason. So I'm actually kind of intrigued in that one. If I'm going to pull the trigger, I might do that Ninja because they've nailed everything. Of course, I've got the Unis and I've got but that one caught my eye. And you're right. They're all about 10-20% off. But I think I might. What about you? You're going to get a couple Brevilles indoor, right?
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested in the Volt. I thought that so I've got a Coda that I have outside and
sure.
It's great. Sometimes the weather is not as convenient. I'm kind of looking on the idea of being able to do what I do outside, but inside, and that little compact device. It's kind of cool, and it seems like it's I've got a good space for it on my countertop. I've heard a lot of people who are actually in the club have used them as well, and they're they really liked it. So that could be the direction that I'm looking. Not a cheap purchase, not gonna lie, but
I'm more interested in things other than pizza, right? I'd love to
fair.
just sear off, get veggies out quick, or do even some chops or something. So I'm with you. I like the indoor, but
Yeah.
maybe not always for pizza. Maybe just as a supercharged air fryer convection oven. I'm really interested. But
Oh,
again,
okay.
right, you gotta have the counter space and the capital. Both of things are not always not always free to come by.
I'm with you absolutely there. So listen, if I can get you to come down, if we want to come to my house and build like a brick dome over over the summer, I'd be more than happy, Jim, to start making some unique foods out there. Unfortunately, I'm confined to the what the uni can handle for the most part. But I have done some steaks in it, and I love it. Right, a cast iron skillet doing some
Absolutely.
steaks in it is beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, you are talking to technically a mechanical engineer, so I'm probably one of the most uniquely positioned people in the world to build a complex brick structure to make pizza. I'm just saying.
I love it. Thank you, buddy.
Sounds like a road trip to me.
Yeah, man, let's do it. So, all right, listen, let's round it out with a couple more items that I think could be unique, and you like definitely touch on any, Jim, that you think that I haven't hit on that could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this article out of Good Housekeeping just popped up for 25 different great gift ideas for pizza lovers. So to me, in my opinion, no better time to buy those gifts than on Black Friday if possible, right? Why not?
Right.
So one of the items I think to highlight was this little pizza container that we saw on Shark Tank, the perfect pizza pack. Apparently, you can fit multiple slices of pizza in this little pack container. Something about stacking pizza just doesn't fit well with me, but Jim, I don't know, man. What do you think about this bad boy?
I'm with you. It's not right, right? I've never stacked a pizza and was happy about that decision, right? It's what's wrong with the wrapping them each in foil and throw them in a plastic bag like we've been doing for centuries, and that way you've got the no, you don't stack pizza and it doesn't really look that convenient. I've seen the Shark Tank and yeah, it's washable. Well, yeah, everything is. So I'm not here for it. I'm passing on that one.
Most things are washable, I feel like, for the most part, right? In that run. So some of the other highlights, we just talked about it, but Uni 20% off for the Carew 16 multiplier. Pizza candle, Jim. Do you think you need? If you didn't think you needed more pizza in your life, why not have your home just consistently smell like pizza?
Yeah, listen, it's a great gift. I'm interested how close it smells like pizza. Is this is this a Wawa pizza thing where it's technically pizza, or is it bring me back to Naples? So if it ends up in my stocking, I'm gonna have a great time with it. But I'm probably not gonna seek that one out for anyone I really care about.
That's fair. That's okay. I'm with you there, man. I'm going to be getting the candle either. I may splurge for the holiday pizza spice set that we talked about a couple days back, though. But I know pizza candle, I'm going to leave aside. All right, two other designer items for your pizza favorite in your life: KitchenAid, Jim, or mixer in general. Do pizza makers all need a KitchenAid or a mixer, or are you a hand guy? Is this a
Um,
necessity?
it's if you're just starting out, I think it's a necessity, right? And even if you finish by hand, I think most of us do. It's really nice to put on the hook, get it started, give yourself and that, I use it, the kids can help. So a stand mixer isn't a must, but it's pretty close. I
Okay.
think, now it doesn't have to be that, that model or that big, but I mean, I'm sure you have a stand mixer, I'm presuming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I do. I'm a hand guy at this point in time for my life, but I use that KitchenAid like you wouldn't believe for other
Absolutely.
items. Absolutely, for sure. There, I'll probably say one essential. I think that comes up here. Well, probably two essentials on this page for sure. An awesome pizza T-shirt pocket. Obviously, this is a no brainer to me. Who doesn't need more pizza apparel? But Jim, a good food scale in general. If you're going to be making some serious pizza, what do we think?
It's I looked at the list. It's probably the most critical thing on here, right, and one of the most reasonable. You're absolutely right. Food, all food scales are not created equal, and the OXO, that's the literal model I have. Again, not sponsored, but really, really nice, really, really durable, easy to clean. Right, you can get all the flour off of it because they're gonna get floury. So yeah, I agree. The pizza and the scale really have to go together.
I'm with you there. All right, let's see a couple more items I think that were of interest. This pizza blanket was actually calling my name in the pizza apparel category. Why not? I think my whole family can be spread out on the couch with pizza. It's going to look really interesting. And then also a thermometer. Either of these items stand out to you, Jim, as requirements?
So the thermometer, yes, but I'm going to give people a pro tip because this is
Yeah, of
what I do.
course.
Go down to your industrial supply store and buy an infrared thermometer for $20. It's the exact same thing. You don't need the markup, and it's probably calibrated closer than anything you'll buy in a kitchen supply store. That's what I did.
Oh.
I may have repurposed one from a job I had, and yeah, they're made for literally the temperatures and the accuracy you're looking for, and they're really cheap.
I love it. Okay, awesome, man. All right, last thing I was thinking about kind of down here. I don't know how I feel about per se the need for like a pizza party gift crate, but man, maybe someone's happy. Maybe you want to introduce someone to the world of pizza and you kind of want those little pizza things to throw in there. But when we're talking cutting pizza, Jim, are you a scissor guy? Are you a rolling cutter? What are you into?
Unless I'm doing, the Quad City style, which you have to cut, and we talk about that. I'm
Yep.
the rock and chop guy.
Okay.
I like that a lot. I love my pizza cutter. I just rarely use it for too many pizzas. I like rocking it. What about you? Or do you just go straight just paring knife? Do you exacto it through
I'm
or?
both. So I've got these. This is the realm where I've got a couple. I've got a good 12-inch like rock and cutter. Sometimes I'm making a little bit bigger, so I've got my standard kind of rolly saw through. But I do have a good set of pizza shears as well. They might be poultry shears that I double as pizza shears. I've had the ones with kind of like the little shelf on the bottom to kind of hold up the bottom to cut through, but I do like the scissor aspect to it. It's kind of convenient.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, a lot depends on your style. But no, I like some. I just feel cool when I'm rocking and chopping, and that you get one pie is like this, and one's it's a third. But that's fine. At least I look cool doing it.
That's true. That's true. It's like the New Haven style pizzas, right? You make whatever kind of cut you want across them. It doesn't matter. And you
It
get
doesn't
little
matter.
corner. You get a
It's
whole
art.
thing.
It's art, Will.
Art is the way to put it. Art is the way to put it. So listen, on that note, Jim, anything that you think we missed, perhaps that we should talk about for Black Friday for that looking for a deal out there?
I actually saw some really good flowers. People don't think about
Ooh.
it, but get some of the really good double O flowers. I saw a couple on Amazon, 30% off. Listen, they ship great. They store. You can buy them in bulk and get things you might not be able to find in your grocery stores. That's the only thing that the list may have missed that I would recommend.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I didn't even think about that. So thanks, man, very much. Appreciate that. All right. Well, listen, Jim, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. We'll get everyone ready for Turkey Day and make sure they're getting their Black Friday deals in. So, Jim, tell everyone, where can they find you, buddy, across social media landscape if they want to talk pizza or any food with you, my friend?
Or any food. You type Jim Cook's Food Good wherever you like your social media, and you're going to find me.
Awesome. I love it. So on that note, guys, everyone, thank you guys so much for checking out Pizza Roundtable tonight, where we talk about the biggest pizza news of the week. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us across YouTube for the Pizza Club. And on that note, check back again next week for another episode. Thanks all.
Thank you.